Welcome to Myth versus Fact History. Today we are taking apart why the world got Africa wrong completely and rebuilding it from the actual documented evidence. This myth has been circulating for a long time. It appears in textbooks, in documentaries, in popular culture, and in the unexamined assumptions of people who consider themselves well-educated and well-informed about history. That is what makes it so persistent and so damaging. The most dangerous myths are not the ones that seem obviously false. They are the ones that feel like common sense because they have been repeated so consistently for so long. Let us start by laying the myth out in its full form. What is the specific claim being made? What supporting evidence is usually cited? How did this myth originate? Who first promoted it? What institutions and power structures invested in spreading it? And what specific interests were served by having people believe it rather than the actual historical record? This analysis matters because understanding why a myth exists tells you a great deal about why it has been so difficult to dislodge. Myths are not innocent errors. Most enduring historical myths serve someone's interests. Identifying those interests is part of the work of correcting the record. Now we turn to the actual evidence. We are going to go through the documented archaeological record, the primary written sources, the findings of peer-reviewed academic scholarship, and the physical material evidence that exists to evaluate whether the myth holds up under scrutiny. We cite our sources throughout, not because we expect you to read all of them tonight, but because we want you to know that everything we are presenting can be verified independently. That transparency is the foundation of honest historical analysis. The evidence in this case is extensive. There is no shortage of documentation on this subject. The problem has never been a lack of evidence. The problem has been a systematic refusal to engage with it seriously. We are going to engage with it seriously now. We walk through the key pieces of evidence one by one. We explain what each piece tells us and how it relates to the claim being evaluated. Where the evidence is genuinely ambiguous, we say so clearly. Where it is definitive, we say that too. We also look at the moments when the evidence was discovered and how it was received. In many cases, the evidence that contradicts popular myths has been available for decades or even centuries. The story of why it was ignored or suppressed is itself an important part of the historical record. We examine the scholarly consensus on this question. Not every individual academic, but the mainstream position of the relevant scholarly disciplines. What do archaeologists say? What do historians say? What do the specialists who have dedicated their careers to this specific subject conclude when they examine all the available evidence? By the time we reach our conclusion, you will not just know that the myth is wrong. You will understand precisely where it came from, why it persisted, who it served, and what the real history actually shows. That is what myth-busting looks like when it is done properly. What we have covered today is just the surface of a story that goes very deep. The history of Africa is one of the most vast and complex histories in the world. And every time you engage with it seriously, you come away with a richer understanding of who we are as a human species and how we got to here. If this video added to your understanding, share it with someone in your life who needs to hear it. The more people who know the real history, the stronger our collective foundation becomes. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you never miss a new video. We publish new content every single day covering every dimension of African history, culture, wealth, and the contemporary African experience. Follow us on all platforms at PanaAfric and visit panaafric.com for the full resource library. This is your history, and we will see you in the next one.